Hello everyone, Hawaii Fabo here. I wanted to do an update. Today's Saturday, today's my maintenance day, and I want to show you guys a few things, and also want to go over new additions to the tank and updates, and I'm going to show you something that is a good reason to do regular maintenance on your equipment and just check it regularly. So what we're looking at here is my spreadsheet of my logs of over the last few weeks, or months I should say, a couple months. Unfortunately there was a period where in April and May that I lost a whole bunch of data. So you'll see the dates. I started in April, checking it every day when I first set the tank up, but then something happened to the spreadsheet and I lost all my data, so I've had to start all over again. So we're up at the 21st today. I actually have it set for Sunday, but I actually do it on Saturday. So that's what we're at now. And these are my levels right now, as you can see. I test for everything using ELO's test kits. The only thing I don't test is nitrite. I check ammonia. As long as ammonia is at 0 and nitrate is within a good reading, then I don't test for nitrite. So for my last video, see that we had a quarantine tank set up. Unfortunately this guy started leaking along the seams down here, so I'm gonna have to get a new quarantine tank. I had a yellow watchman goby in there and a cherub angelfish. So the yellow watchman goby has gone into the main display tank, and then the cherub angelfish has gone into the refugium. They were in the quarantine tank for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I was treating with Seachem's Paragard daily actually, and they were doing really well. So they're in here now. The cherub angelfish typically kind of hangs around at the back there in those rocks. So as you can see, the refugium is blossoming. It's doing really well, getting a lot of nice growth, and there's a lot of amphipods and copepods and all sorts of things floating around in here. Unfortunately my camera is just not good enough to pick up anything interesting, but one thing I will point out is that, and you can't see it in here, but in the rest of my sump where there isn't any lights, I have a ton of pineapple sponges growing, which is pretty cool, I think. So you can see one here. There's some massive ones in here. I just can't pick them up on my phone, unfortunately, but yeah, liking that. So really happy with how everything's going down here. Now for the main display tank, as you can see, there's a few new corals in here, and we've also got 2 new fish as well. So fish-wise, we've got 2 black and white Ocellaris clownfish, and they still got a bit of orange on them, but they'll grow out of that. They came together, but they have not bonded at all. They spend most of their time apart. They don't really come together. The closest they get together is when I feed the tank, and that's it. But they're great characters, and they'll be nice additions to the tank, and hopefully they'll bond. There's the Muskoka flesh harass there. He's doing really well. He did so well to pull out of, pull through with the ick issue. His time in quarantine, I think, did him some good in a way, because he's come out that much more colourful, I think. I think his colouring is amazing, and I wish my camera could just do him justice. I'm hoping he's going to strike a pose. No, it doesn't look like it. But yeah, he's an awesome fish, and all these fish eat are brine shrimp now and again, the American Reef high performance diet, and Arctic pods, which is what they pick up from when I feed the SPS corals, so they'll pick at those as well. But that is it. That's all they eat, and they're doing really well. I shouldn't just say that, actually. The high performance diet, I do modify, and I'll do another video on that another time. But yeah, I think they're doing really well, and the high performance diet is definitely bringing out the best in this flasher ass anyway. He's coloured up magnificently, I think. So far as corals go, I can't remember in the last video what I had, but I'll just do a quick run through what I think is new. Pink zoanthids here are new. They're doing really well. I've moved the candy cane corals over here, so they're a little bit higher up, and they're getting a little bit more light, but these guys are doing really well. They've recovered well, colouring up nicely, and really like how they're developing. I have a green leather here. He's not at his most expanded, I should say. I have to point out, he typically in the morning and early afternoon is when he's at his peak, when he's looking his healthiest. But I guess as the brighter lights come on, he kind of shrinks up a little bit and the polyps go in. But I'm hoping he'll adjust to that. I've had him in the tank for about 2 weeks now, give or take, and we'll see how he goes. But I really like him. I think he's in a nice position there on that rock to be a nice centerpiece coral. Here's my rose bubble tip anemone. This guy actually got cut in half when he went through the impeller, and that reminds me, I did some maintenance on the not the impeller, I'm sorry, the MP40, and I have to put the sponge cover back on, so I'll do that when I finish the video. But he got cut in half, shredded. He's pulled through really well though, and he seems to have set himself up there and is quite happy. Haitian anemone, he moves around quite a lot. I haven't really seen him settle down in one particular spot for that long. Hopefully he'll find somewhere that he likes. I wonder what's going on with him, why he's unhappy. But I feed him, he eats well, as does the rose bubble tip, so we'll just have to see how they go. Candy canes looking a bit sorry for themselves, but they're actually doing really well. Colours definitely 100% come back, and no complaints there. They just need to fill out a little bit more, so hopefully with the feedings and the lights now maxed up, or maxed out, the Radeon Generation 2s I've got set to acclimation mode up to 100% now, so we'll see how they go. And that is largely, actually, that change in brightness settings is largely in part to this guy. This is my first SPS coral, and I just want to see how he does. This is my test piece. I got him kind of cheap because he wasn't in that great a condition anyway. He certainly doesn't look the healthiest thing in the world right now. But hopefully, with the lights working their way up to 100% brightness, then we'll see some nice response. We'll see a nice response from him. Also got these green speckled mushroom corals. Coral. I should have paid more close attention to the picture, because in the picture they actually show as blue. I thought I was getting blue mushrooms, but not to worry. They're still really nice anyway, and they're pretty cheap. So really happy with how these guys have turned, adding a bit of splash of colour to the tank. And last but not least, here's the Duncans, and these guys, you can see big polyp here, or head. I'm not sure what's the right phrase, but these guys are just on steroids, I think. Again, I feed these guys a little cube of the high performance fish diet every few days, and they seem to do really well. So you can't really see, but there are more polyps growing. You see these two main heads in the middle here. So each of these two heads behind its tentacles, for lack of a better word, is 4 or 5 new heads growing at least around the stem. So massive growth off of these guys, and they're flourishing really well, so I'm really happy with how these guys are doing. This has to be the sorriest green bubble tip anemone I have ever seen. I got this from Blue Zoo Aquatics. In fact, all my corals have come from Blue Zoo Aquatics except for the neon candy canes, and this thing's just pathetic. I actually thought about calling them back and getting a refund on it, because this thing is brown. He looks like crap. But believe it or not, over the last since I've had him, he's actually started showing a little bit of an improvement as I've been feeding him He's stayed in this one position since I've had him, so we'll see. I'd really like to get another green bubble tip anemone and maybe another red one, and consider propagating them and selling them. That was my intention, was to get these guys, see how they do. I'm going to try another green one and see how we go, I think. But so far as the tank and the corals goes, I'm really happy with how everything's going. The fish came from Blue Zoo Aquatics, all the corals have come from Blue Zoo Aquatics, except for the Haitian anemone and the candy cane corals. Absolutely no complaints with Blue Zoo. I'm going to order again from them in 1 or 2 weeks. 2 fish to go in here. I'm only going to be ordering 4 more fish for the tank. One of them will be, I'm sorry, I apologize, 5 more fish for the tank. They're all really small. Well, not really small, but I think the largest is 4 inches, and he's going to be the biggest fish in the tank. But again, I'm going to get him as a juvenile. So I definitely found myself into this tank more for the fish at this point, rather than the corals. I think the corals are nice, they add a nice look to the tank, but my priorities at the moment are definitely with the fish. I don't know how you guys, I guess a lot of you are more inclined to lean towards this hobby for the corals, but the fish start you off. But for me personally, I'm sticking with the fish. Also, I'm sure I mentioned it, but I do have a yellow watchman goby in here, and after about 2 hours he bonded with the pistol shrimp that I have in here, and I will try and get a video of them. They're most active in the morning and late morning. As soon as the afternoon comes around, when these lights start getting quite bright, they scurry away. But they've bonded, and I've seen more of the pistol shrimp since I've had the yellow watchman goby than I have the entire time that I've had him. So really happy about that. Alright, so one last thing, you'll notice that I'm down a MP40. The reason being is because they were starting to get build-up of algae on them, and I wanted to give them a clean, so I took the wet side, I want to say impeller, yeah, the wet side impeller, off of the from out of the tank, and I brought them over here, and one of them had a pretty bad case of rust, so I'm gonna there's no way I can put this back in the tank, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna have to get a new wet side impeller. Luckily for the MP40s, they're only $75, but all the same, that is not something that you want to have in your tank. So if I hadn't have done that maintenance and taken a look at it and checked it, then God only knows what would have happened to the tank. But just want to share that with you guys as a real reason to just check your equipment and stay on top of your maintenance. So that's it, guys. I'll be back in July. I'm just going to do a monthly update, I think. It'll be the easiest thing to do, because there's no sense in me doing a video every time something happens, otherwise I'd have hundreds of videos up. So next video it'll be just a quick one on the pistol shrimp and the yellow watchman goby bonding together and doing their excavations. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching. Questions, comments, much appreciated, and we'll see you in July. Thanks, bye.